Welcome to Excel Boats on the X Podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
The only podcast to bring you insights on the world of hunting, fishing, and boating. With your host, J. Paul Jackson.
You don't say much, do you?
Now, load up and sight in. This is On the X.
Welcome to Excel Boats on the X Podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors. Now, today I'm your host, J. Paul Jackson, but along with Dave Reynolds, I also have another very special guest and co-host today, our buddy Bill Willroth of Dakota Decoys and the Grind Waterfowl TV. Bill,
I appreciate that special guest.
you are, man. No, you are. I mean, we feel privileged to have you on the podcast.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here. We were going to do one of these podcasts from my computer, but I'm dang near 60, I couldn't figure it out. So here we are with an iPhone in front of us.
Yeah, we finally get it together. Dave, how you doing out there in Salt Lake City in West Jordan, buddy?
Doing great, man. It's hunting season. Doesn't get any better than that. I've been out 3 of the last 4 days, and actually today I'm sort of glad I had to go to work. I need to rest.
Yeah.
That work, those jobs get in the way. I'm trying to figure
They
out.
do, but yeah, once in a while it's good. Forces you not to hunt. No, I had some real good hunting last 3 times out, and got to hunt with the kids, Jack and my daughter yesterday. And yeah, I've been hunting for many years, almost as many as Bill there, and actually we're the same age. And yesterday, all these years I've been hunting, I saw a sight I've never seen before in all my years of hunting. And I'm so glad that my kids were able to see that too. But we were hunting a small pothole, and it was probably 250 mallards working this little tiny pothole, just swarming us like bees, circling and circling. And yes, I had 7 mallard Dakota Decoys. I'm sure that's what attracted them, but it was just amazing. I mean, we didn't even shoot at them because with 2 young kids, I was just waiting for the right moment, and there are just ducks everywhere, and they came in behind us. They're right over us, but the kids didn't see, so I didn't want to shoot. Jack had 2 greenheads land on his side. He never saw them because he was watching all these other ducks. So, yeah, it's such a sight. We never killed a duck from the group, but it was still, I'll never forget that. And actually, in hindsight, it was probably good because we would have educated every mallard in that marsh if we would have shot at that flock.
Yeah, you're creating a lifetime killer. I hope you know that when they see that for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as if Jack wasn't cursed enough already. He is totally ruined now. And you've ruined my day, too, because in Tennessee, I've got another 6-8 weeks before duck season arrives. So.
We just had our first big front come through the Dakotas, and we were on the marsh yesterday, and specks were bailing out of the Dakotas by the thousands. And we're down here in Mountain View, Arkansas, and we're outside doing some filming with J. Paul, and the specks were coming overhead.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. We were standing out there in the
my Suburban must be just a little faster than the specs because we beat them here, but they're coming through.
But you brought them down.
We brought them down.
Because spec season actually opens a little bit earlier here in Arkansas. So we'll get the chance to go after the specs a couple of weeks before we do the ducks.
Awesome.
If you guys out there listening as well, if you hear a lot of background noise, we apologize, but we are coming to you today from the Excel Boat Plant right here in Mountain View, Arkansas. As a matter of fact, Dave, I'm sitting in the bow of the Grind Waterfowl TV, Bill Willroth's new Excel F4. So he's picking it up today. I'm looking at his HDR 5000 25th anniversary edition back there. And we're down.
All right. Yeah, I always thought you were supposed to christen a boat with a bottle of champagne, not your ass.
Well, we're joking too, Dave. Jay Paul's had 2 hips put in. I had mine put in about 12 weeks ago. I was on this boat for this podcast. I said, you just want to see 2 geriatric board guys crawl up into the boat.
I'm pretty good jumping up in there.
Yeah, you did.
But we're talking to a guy that does what? How long are those bike rides, races that you do?
Oh, man, 200 miles or 200-mile road race, 100-mile mountain bike race. About 45 minutes, maybe close to an hour to get to the spot yesterday hiking. Slower with the kids.
Oh, I bet.
Good secret, if you got young kids walking in the marsh, ski poles. give them ski poles.
Yeah.
Wow.
That really helps with their balance. And, some of this place I hunted yesterday is muddy, nasty, weeds. And you believe me, when it's cold, kid goes down, your hunt is over. Ski poles. It's a good tip.
Yeah. Need to get you some of those packables, Dave, if you're walking that far in.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
And for guys with hip
Take a little weight because I'm pulling my guns. I'm the mule. The kids, they got their ski poles. I got everything else.
Well, I hate to break it to you, Dave, when we come out there with you, I do have a new hip. So
all right, well, you can do it then.
To full extent. You might be a mule too.
Hey, better be a mule than a horse's ass anyway.
Yeah.
I was saying with those ski poles for guys like us, we could just use them as canes.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Wow. So you've been doing it for a few days. How about you, Bill? Have you started hunting yet?
Actually, the Grind, we just got back a week ago from Saskatchewan. We did our first filmed hunt up there.
How was that?
Awesome. I'm a duck guy, and we always go up with Ben Webster, and he knows I like ducks.
Now, where's he out of?
They're actually out of Hutchinson, Kansas, or McPherson, Kansas area.
Right, and his place isn't it around St. Walburg, Turtleford?
We were at Neilburg, Saskatchewan. Yeah. So basically, one day we hunted where you actually could. I think you could put 1 foot in Alberta and 1 foot in Saskatchewan.
Yeah,
It was an 18-hour drive, but the hunting was spectacular.
I've hunted up there near Kit Scotty, right there on the border, Lloydminster.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's amazing, the hunting right there.
Yeah, I forget how pretty it is up there till you get up there. Beautiful country. But yeah, so we started up there, and our seasons have started opening in the Dakotas. North Dakota opened a while ago. Northern South Dakota opened up. Now South Dakota, the south region where I hunt the Missouri River, isn't open, but we're border waters, and the Nebraska early season started. So we went and bought a Nebraska license just to get out on the marsh. So
And that you're Central Flyway, right?
we're Central Flyway, yes, sir. And there's been a lot of snow in the Dakotas already, a lot of funky weather like this, but snow rather than rain. And there's a push of birds coming. So I think you guys are going to get birds early this year.
Yeah, I hope so. We've got water. Here in West Tennessee, it's been raining like crazy. Actually, I'm in Arkansas, and it's raining today, both here and at home. I was crossing the Mississippi River yesterday on the way over here, and I noticed the river's really high. We're going to have water earlier than normal this year, it looks like.
That's the key to your hunting, isn't it?
It really is.
Water, yeah.
We've got a couple, 3 keys. And what's funny, it's kind of cool today on the podcast because we've got 3 different flyways represented by us here. Of course, we've got Dave out there in the Pacific Flyway that is the mother of all divorces with the 107-day season, as he likes to point out.
Yeah. Is that a 7 mallard limit?
7 mallards.
7 mallards, yeah. 7 greenheads.
And we're 5 in the Central Flyway.
And how many days?
I believe we're 70 days season.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And then
I think we're about 114, I believe.
This year's yours is 114?
Yes.
And you're still married?
Oh, that's what I said. Yeah, I've told J. Paul this before. Among duck hunters, the highest divorce rate is in the Pacific Flyway.
Yeah.
I believe that.
What that mean, Dave? Oh, my God.
What is kind of funny, though, so there's 7 mallards. We're Central Flyway, 5 mallards, and I believe you're Mississippi.
Mississippi Flyway,
4 mallards.
4 mallards.
Yeah.
And then the Atlantic Flyway is also 4 mallards.
Yeah.
But, and a lot of people wonder why that is because, you go out to California and I hunt. Got a buddy, Scott Feist, Feisty Fish Guide Service. You ought to check this guy out too. We'd love to have the
What
Grind.
was his last name?
Scott Feist.
Feist, okay.
And Scott is really good. I've hunted with him for a lot of different species out there. Great guy. But, there's so many mallards and so many pintails out there. And people go, well, why the 7 mallard limit? It's because of hunting pressure.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think that's how they base it, by the amount of birds killed per
The amount of-
flyway, correct? Yeah.
and so we kill so many mallards here in the Mississippi Flyway. It really limits our scope. We got all 3 flyways.
Yeah. It just amazed me. Like we just got back from Saskatchewan, and honestly, up there the ducks were brown. The drakes. Occasionally you'd see a drake with some color on his head, and then we get in the car, we drive 18 hours home, and we're on the marsh yesterday, and they're all colored up.
Yeah.
In a matter of 10 days or 2 weeks, boom,
Just
full
like
color.
that.
Yeah.
What's it like out there with the plumage on them, Dave?
Those last 3 days, all beautiful greenheads, mature, green. In fact, I only shot one that was sort of an eclipse. On the one side, it was just partial green. The other side was full green. Other than that, all big, all big greenheads. So yeah, which is pretty rare. Usually we just, shoot more eclipse ducks this time of the year, but they're all big greenheads from, they're not local birds for sure. They're, migrant.
Well, up there, it's funny. I've been there the last week of September when everything's got a brown head. And then there was one year that I actually split my trip. I went up and spent a week, the last week of September in Saskatchewan. And then I went back up on the 15th of October, which is what today is. And when I got there, it was amazing. I mean, you couldn't tell a greenhead from a Susie without looking at the color of their bill. When I'd been there 2 weeks earlier, yet in 2 weeks' time.
Full plumage. I know.
Yeah, it's amazing.
They got to get pretty for those ladies.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, of course, everything was brown, pretty brown when we were up there, and the number of pintails we saw. It could have been the area we're in, but honestly, I bet we saw 3 to 1 pintails to mallards.
Wow.
So the hatch was good on pintails, and I think nationwide now we can shoot 2 pintails.
But there's another reason for that too. You know what it is?
No.
Do you know why they were seeing pintails, Dave, when they were up there last week, a week before?
No.
Well, it goes back to what we've talked about on the show several times. All species of ducks are photomigrators to some degree. Yeah. And there's a population of pintails that breeds up almost all the way to Alaska. And so when those days start getting shorter,
start seeing those.
And what's amazing, I've talked to biologists that say that even from breeding population to population, you get that as well. And so those birds are pretty doggone predictable in that area of Saskatchewan and Alberta that you were in. They're going to hit sometime around the 5th of October almost every year.
That's right, when we were there.
And if you kill a banded, you take a look, that's where they're going to be banded.
Okay.
Some of them as far as Wrangell Island, Russia, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, no, we really noticed that. I mean, we were further east in Saskatchewan a couple of years ago, and it was mostly mallards compared to pintails. So, so just a little bit.
That's interesting. We haven't seen hardly any pintails yet. We've shot a couple, but they were real brown. I mean, they're drakes, but they look like hens. You can only tell they're drakes by the color of their beak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were seeing pintails, Dave. They were pintails, but you couldn't tell they were pintails.
You weren't seeing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So where are you guys going next?
Our next actual hunt is in North Dakota. Typically, we're there last week, and usually what we're doing is hunting the local birds because they haven't had a push of birds yet. So we're going up there later. We're going the 6th or 7th of November. So a little bit later. We're taking a chance.
Everything could be frozen.
And the way this weather's looking, it could be iffy, but we're going to take a chance, try a little later hunt. So
Well, you could break some ice in that new boat. What's going to be the maiden voyage of the new boat?
As soon as I get J. Paul out of this boat, she's headed for the river.
All right.
I may just go with him. I haven't been hunting yet. I'm ready to rock and roll. He got the 125 gauge though, so ice isn't going to be a problem.
These things.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah. What's funny is you're going to be there around the 7th of November this year. I don't know if you remember it or not, Dave, but remember the last time I came out to Utah with Rocky, we actually caught it perfect that year in November. On the 7th of November, we were not real far from Watertown, and we were destroying them because a blizzard came through that 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
And there were some.
What year would that have been? Do you remember?
Oh, God, well, it would have been, probably, it was November of 2016, 2015.
Oh, yeah.
2015.
Yeah. We had a
November
really
15th.
Early blizzard, pushed all the birds down.
Yeah. 14, it might have even been 14.
Were you hunting fields or water?
We were hunting fields.
Yeah.
We're hunting cornfields right next to these potholes. And, we caught it up there perfect, the potholes, the wind, such a huge north wind with that blizzard coming in was keeping particularly the south end, the waves between that and the ducks. And for 3 days, we had 12 guys. We killed our 60 birds.
That's
killed
awesome.
180 ducks in 3 days. 177 of them were greenheads.
That's awesome.
You could pick that well. And then we went on up to Utah and hooked up with Dave and went out on what is now the Great Salt Flat. It was actually still a lake then.
Okay.
And we caught it just perfect before total freeze up.
Yeah.
And smacked them pretty good there.
Yeah, Dave, he treated us right last year. We're going back out again this year. I believe we're going to hit Snake River, correct, Dave?
Right. I think, yeah, looking at mid-December maybe.
Mid-December, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we're looking forward
Can I
to
come?
that.
Can I
You are invited.
Hey, do you care if I come out?
No, not at all, J. Paul.
No.
Open invitation. Come out here anytime. Come out here next week.
Shoot, I can't, man. I got way too much going on. You will be happy to know that even today in the rain, the good folks from Klein Construction are actually working on the addition over there on the other side of the plant. So,
Yeah,
All right.
well, I was telling J. Paul, Dave, that I think my first trip up here was 2013, and the difference between now and then, it's night and day. I mean, I had a hard time finding a parking spot out in your parking lot.
it's amazing.
The growth that you guys have seen, it's unbelievable. Last year when I was down here, I was here in the middle of the night and picked the boat up and left. When I got here this morning, I told Max, I said, well, something's going on here. No, that's just
Yeah. A lot more employees. And we need more space. As you can see, that plant is probably loaded to the gills in boats, especially, bay boats. F4s this time of the year.
Yeah. You can tell we're coming into duck season too, because I was showing him over in rigging and finish, whereas 3 months ago it was all shiny boats, mostly bay boats. Now it's almost all camo. I think there are 2 shiny boats in there sitting in the finish area right now. Everything else is camo.
Yeah, all Optifade timber and Optifade marsh, right?
Amen.
that new bay boat, Dave, might look good on the Missouri River.
It could. An
Oh,
Optifade marsh.
A couple. How big is that? 23-footer?
Yeah, the 230.
Oh my gosh, that is a big boat.
Yeah,
Yeah, you could put 2 of those boats inside of that you're sitting on. Yeah, it's a big boat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could put this inside of that one for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of interest in that boat. And, surprisingly, a lot of those have been ordered in camo, too. That big bay boat. A lot of dealers are ordering it in Optifade.
Yeah, that's what's sitting out there, a big 23-foot Optifade.
All right.
We're out there side by side,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pulled up, and I thought, maybe that's our boat.
No,
No.
no, you can't have
No.
I'll get you there fast. I don't know how shallow it'll run now. Actually, it runs pretty shallow, about 14 inches of water is a draft, but
It'll run that shallow?
yeah.
Wow.
It'll actually run shallower than that. The problem is
With the outboard.
with the outboard. Yeah, I've got photo. Remember the photo shoot we did earlier in the year in Venice, Lafitte, Louisiana Day?
Yeah.
If you look in those photos, we've got several where they're probably in 4 inches of the boat actually in the water, but you got the motor.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Have you been in one yet, Dave?
No, I haven't. I have not been in the bay boat. We haven't had any come out this way, except Glenn. Glenn has a bay boat. But
Have you been in it?
yeah, no, he hasn't invited me to go fishing with him.
Well, someone's got to stay there and run that plant.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sell a lot of them all throughout the country, Midwest, upper Midwest, Southeast. We sold a few. Our dealer in North Dakota has, I think he's ordered 1 or 2 of them up there.
Wow.
Yeah, I could see that
Yeah.
out on Devil's Lake, some of that big water up there, even the Missouri.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the Missouri River would be perfect.
Yeah. J. Paul tells me not to tip anyone's hat, but there are more surprises coming in
Yeah.
lines.
Oh, yeah.
He was asking, so what are we going to build in Tennessee? I was telling him, we'll just wait and see. Give us a few months.
Yeah, we're going to build decoys.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'll let you do that with that great big mud motor for me, Dave.
Sure. Speaking of decoys, what you got new? I know you always got some new hot decoys every year. What's new from Dakota this year?
Yeah, I appreciate that. What really took off for us, we broke it late in the year last year, is that packable mallard, which is a blow-up decoy, quite a bit lighter. For the guys in the timber, they like it. For guys like you walking.
You told me that Bill carries a blow-up doll around with him everywhere he goes.
Yes.
What's true?
There it is. There's a green head on it. Hope you like green heads.
I can't believe I said that.
No, but then we got that packable mallard, and then we also broke some new specs this year, painted spec and fully flock spec, and then we just got our new floating specs out. So that was it. That was our additions for the year. But spec market has taken off.
I got to get some of those. When you come down to hunt with me in Marvel, we will have some of those spec floaters, Dave.
Oh, that's great. I love shooting specs.
Also doing the snow goose out of the same body. Beautiful, just beautiful decoys. We get the guys tell us a lot of times, when they buy decoys, they put one on the shelf.
Yeah.
They don't want to get it dirty. So, and these specs are the same. They're gorgeous.
Work of art. But I mean, all your decoys are works of art. I've been so impressed with realism with your decoys since the first time I hunted over in the late 2000s.
I honestly think, when we started Dakota Decoy and got things going, we basically stepped the game up a little bit in the decoy market.
I know it.
Not only in carvings, but in finish, durability. And I mean, it's been great for the hunter because everyone stepped their game up. Everyone has great decoys now, and I'm proud to be part of that, to be honest with you.
I love the poses. I mean, remember when the Dakota Decoys first came out, and you take a look at them and you go, wow, just the head positioning and stuff like that was so lifelike and so different from what anybody else, had on the market. Wouldn't you agree, Dave?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're very realistic. And I've never owned decoys that looked more real. In fact, so real, last year on the youth hunt, Jack shot one of my Dakota Decoys square. Man, I've never seen more shot in one decoy than that. So I do have one on my shelf in my garage. It's that one that Jack shot square, man. I swear there's probably 30 BBs in that thing. But no, they're amazing decoys. I love them. And I used to hunt over a lot more decoys, and I think it's become to quality over quantity. I think with these realistic decoys, you don't need as many decoys. I mean, obviously there's situations where you need a lot of decoys out in the Great Salt Lake, or you put out several hundred, but most situations, especially where there's mallards, at least in this flyway, you don't need as many with more realistic looking decoys.
Yeah, I hear that a lot, Dave. And from a decoy seller, that's both good and bad.
Yeah.
He told me earlier, Dave, he said, less definitely ain't more. Trust me.
Like horsepower. You can't ever have enough of it.
Amen. No man can ever have too many guns, too many decoys, too much money. It just ain't happening.
That's true.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I know you've got to hit the road, and these guys are about to leave and head back to the Dakotas here. But before you go, this is the first time we've had you on the show. So, all right. So I've got a couple of questions for you. We have a standard question involving your blind bag that I'm going to get to. But since you're a decoy guy, before we go there, when I'm coming out there hunting, you're talking about having all those decoy bags in the boat. What am I going to find? What are you going to carry to the field with you?
We hunt big water, hunt the Missouri River. Visibility is key. So our normal duck spread anymore, we use 60 honker floaters and 2 or 3 dozen of our fully flocked mallards. And then we're running, Lucky Duck HDs, and we basically put those at the bottom of the goose decoys. Ducks love honkers. So I tell guys all the time, our duck decoys are beautiful, but our best duck decoys are goose decoys.
So your best duck decoy is your goose decoy. Let me ask you this. There's a great debate, and Dave, you feel free to chime in on this one too if you got an opinion. But and I personally don't. This is one area where I need more knowledge. I've heard that mallards won't fly over goose decoys. I've heard geese won't fly over mallard decoys. I'm not sure any of that's true. What's your thoughts on that based on your experience?
Basically, honestly, mallards love honkers.
So mallards will fly right over the goose decoys, no problem.
Absolutely.
They're not a blocker.
Honestly, there are times when we'll take our Lucky Duck HDs, and we will put them in the goose decoys. The ducks are trying to get up into those. They'll come right to the duck decoys, and they'll go right either to the bottom of the goose decoys, or we even have them settle into the goose decoys. Wow. So some guy was probably hunting someday, and they didn't fly over his goose decoys, and he came up with that theory that they don't like Canada decoys, but they do. They love Canada.
That's great information for somebody who's got a world of experience there. All right, well, and then our last question that we always end up when you guess, we're out hunting together, and I sneak over to your blind bag, and I'm a little hungry, wanting to steal a snack out of it. What am I going to find in that blind bag?
Boy. I would say you're always going to find a breakfast bar. I still got the same breakfast bar, I think, from 2013 in there. I bring it just in case. We have a chain of stores up there called Casey's. Little plug.
We have Casey's, yeah.
There you go. There's always Casey's donuts in my blind bag. Thank God we walk a lot in the marsh because we need to burn those calories off.
Hey, man, Max, is he leaving anything out? We've got Bill's camera guy, Max, here, who's doing double duty today, recording the podcast.
He's too healthy. He eats healthy. Look at him. Weighs 110 pounds.
Soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
Is he leaving anything out, Max?
Bill's an expert cook in the blind, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Eggs, sausage, tortillas, breakfast burritos. They're the best.
We eat well.
Dave, let's meet up in the Dakotas next week.
No kidding. I was going to say in my blind bag, usually I keep shelled corn,
Well, we bring that.
It's not too bad if you're really hungry, but the ducks love it.
Yeah. That's good.
Folks, he is lying. He is joking. He's not lying. He's joking. Don't believe him.
I hunted with Dave last year. He likes donuts too. He just doesn't show up the way mine does.
When you ride that bicycle for 200 miles.
Exactly.
Tell me, Dave, do you have to have a big, mean son of a gun chasing you to ride a bike that far?
No, I just want to finish soon. That's my inspiration. The faster I go, the sooner I'm done with this thing.
Well, and hey, now you're in great shape coming into duck season, so I'm looking forward to coming up there pretty soon. But I'm dead serious. I think we need to just kind of meet halfway in the Dakotas in the next few weeks.
Man.
Hell, I'll even bring my bay boat and take you for a ride in it so you can say you've been in one.
I always joke with all you non-resident guys. South Dakota, we try to keep you out. It's a draw state only, So.
And I didn't put in this year, so I can't hunt there this year.
Yeah, there is one open zone out there. Guys, if you want to go hunt geese out in the central part of the state, you can show up and buy a license.
Mm-hmm.
They usually don't run out, so that is accessible to guys. But for the rest of the state, it's draw only. Yeah. And that draw is about usually early July.
Yeah, I've done it several times. Yeah. If you've never hunted South Dakota, you ought to try to go sometimes. I tell you, though, you got to get with somebody that knows what they're doing out there. I mean, it's not like North Dakota or parts of Canada. A lot of places it's harder to get on and get permission.
It is.
But the chances of getting drawn, in my experience, have been very good.
Very good, yeah.
We've had a great time. Yeah. Well, man, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure having Bill Willroth, the Grind Waterfowl TV. You're on the Pursuit channel, I guess. What season is airing right now?
Boy, we tried to figure that out the other night. I believe we're in season 7.
Hunting season 7?
We're filming season 8.
So filming season 8, airing season 7 right now on the Pursuit channel. What day of the week?
We're Saturday evening, and then it plays Mondays and Thursdays.
Cool.
Max is whispering to me.
Also on YouTube.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
You can spit it out loud. Say it out loud.
Like I said earlier, I'm pretty near 60. You what?
22.
Oh, my God. Dave, can you imagine? Well, you're on with Jack. Jack's what, 12 now?
He's 12, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Best hunting partner you can have, right?
He's great. He loves it. He's
No,
shooting good this year, too. And he's been on. He's made some good shots.
Cool.
Yeah.
Dave, I told Jay Paul earlier, we're just tickled to be with you guys. You know, it's awesome to partner and pair up with companies that appreciate excellence. And after walking through Mud Buddy last year and Excel today, we're with the right company. You guys, it's unbelievable.
Man, I tell you, on behalf of Dave and myself, I can tell you we thank you. That's a great compliment because you are making some super quality products. You know, it's a good partnership. You, our friends from Sitka, making great gear out there too. And, you know, it's worked out really good for all of us. And a pleasure having you today. Everybody out there listening, be sure to check out the Grind Waterfowl on the Pursuit channel. Season 7 airing right now. They're out there filming season 8. Hopefully you're going to see maybe me and Dave hunting a little bit. Not trying to invite myself or anything, but
Dave's he's in for sure.
That ain't fair.
Jay Paul did earlier to say, you need to come down and hunt with me. And I said, be careful what you ask for.
Yeah. You didn't come to Marvel while he's there. Right, buddy?
Yeah, right.
Great.
I'll be there.
Well, best of luck to you as you continue to film season 7. Check it out on the Pursuit channel. For my good friend and co-host Dave Reynolds, I'm J. Paul Jackson here with our special guest, Mr. Bill Willroth, and we all thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Excel Boats on the X podcast, powered by Mud Buddy Motors.